consulate, ladies and gentlemen. And banning-wise, what do you reckon we're gonna see from both teams? Because to me, it feels like we might see Blackbeard or Glazov. There we go.
Yeah, Blackbeard ban, you called it. So Fnatic taking away the Blackbeard. That's a fairly standard ban for Consulate. There's a lot of windows, a lot of very strong spots that Blackbeard can play as. Mindfreak are going to take Buck off the board.
Okay.
So there goes the vertical utilization.
Yeah, and
a fairly solid ban because most of Consulate floors are destructible.
Yeah, and taking Buck off is definitely going to be a substantial ban, especially with Mindfreak utilizing a couple of times, but not to full extent. We did see actually Fnatic mostly doing it, as that could be actually a counter ban against Virtue, who has been showing us some great prowess in the previous map.
Yeah, so I think that the Valkyrie ban is definitely targeted towards Fnatic. It's also just a very good generalist ban, right? Like, Valkyrie is very potent on this map. A lot of trees, a lot of places to hide Valcams outside. The Echo ban as well, not really too surprised about that. But all in all, a very interesting ban phase. The Buck to me is mostly going to be about that middle and bottom floor bomb sites. And, you know, it was a Mindfreak ban, and we are going to see the split bomb site come out of Fnatic first.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Archives and Tellers wasn't that of a popular site so far, but
Fnatic played it first in an international tournament, right? Like, the first time they brought it out on stage was an international event.
Yes.
And it worked for them the first time. As many bombs as they can. It didn't work for them the second time, and it didn't work for them the third time. They played it a total of 3 times, I believe, off the top of my head. Right? In international.
Yeah.
This was at the same LAN. And they got a 1 out of 3 success rate.
Yeah, so they might have the element of surprise on this one, but that will be just about it for their advantages, I feel. Whereas, what is also quite interesting for me, Flea, is that Magnet initially picked a Maestro, which is a quite a popular pick, and then swapped him out for Capcan once again, which, I mean, once again, brownie points to Magnet for that, but but at the same time, it's still a bit of a peculiar change. Like, I would have understood if swapping out something like a Legion for Capcan or something similar, or Pulse for Capcan, but
yeah, it's definitely an interesting pick. But I mean, that being said, on the split bomb site, how much use do you really get out of the Evil Eyes, right? Like, where do you deny something with those Evil Eyes? Do you stop the plant somewhere with those Evil Eyes? Like, it's very... Well, Maestro's utility is almost wasted, I feel, but because I don't know if there's any good spots for the Evil Eyes, and I would trust Fnatic's judgment to say that no, there isn't. And maybe that's why they subbed it out.
It could be that, but I would disagree with you on that. Maestro's utility is a bit useless on Consulate, as even like during
no, just on the bomb side.
Yeah, on this current bomb side, it could still be used to a fairly good extent with its ability to look through the smokes. It could very much relay a lot of information to the defenders when the main plant phase will go down.
Yeah, the nade getting lobbed through the wall doesn't really tag up Virtue. In fact, I don't think it tagged him up at all.
It did tag him up a little bit. But with that in mind, though, Virtue does end up completely defaulting back down to the bottom floor and back on the main spiral, where he could actually catch a couple of attackers off guard, as I don't think they would be expecting, as currently the main clear out of the top floor is being conveyed with already a half a round being gone. So right now this is not the brightest turnout for Mindfreak, but Fnatic are also having a couple of their players tagged up, and mainly being Magnet, who is quite low on the HPs.
Yeah, he is. And the worst thing about this bomb site is you don't have to lose control of both bomb sites, you only have to lose control of one. Magnet's actually going to find Warden.
Yeah, and
So
that
the
is
health
the
magnet doesn't care. He's still going to pick up his kills.
yeah, and that is also a pretty big one. The sledge off the board is definitely going to be a bit of a hindrance with any future, well, any short-term future. With the planter has been successfully planted. With I do believe hearing a couple of C4s going off to try to prevent. Wings picks up a kill onto Magnet, making it 4v4. But Lusty swiftly takes out Wings with a nice headshot, but gets lost a little bit in the next firefight as he is a bit puzzled as into the location of the attacker. Crescent will be missing, completely missing out the defender.
Sight blocked it. The defuse is starting. Virtue picks himself up a double kill. Shade's going to find Lusty in reply, but did they stop the defuse? No, they didn't. Fnatic going to pick it up with a very nice retake.
Yeah, that was a very swift retake, and I am a bit confused. How did that turn out? Because Virtue managed to get 2 players of Mindfreak lined up for him, and he just sprayed them down. And after that, Mindfreak just had no foothold on this side. They were all too far away, and with Sledge down, they didn't even have the ability to open up any holes to overlook into that side. So overall, a bit of a sloppy performance on the first round. And do you reckon this could be the tilt settling in for Mindfreak?
Nah, I don't think it's a tilt. These players are better than that. They're more experienced than that, so they're not going to be tilted. But I think, for me, a key moment there was the ACOG hiding Virtue. Right, so Virtue was actually out in the open for a little while, and he could see, I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Crescent.
Yeah, that was Crescent.
Yeah, Crescent in the lobby, but he was patient, right? He didn't shoot immediately, and Crescent's ACOG was actually hiding Virtue.
Yeah.
So, I think that, you know, if just looked slightly to the right, he would have been able to see Virtue, and if he took him out, you know, how different would the round have been?
10 seconds left.
We don't really know that, but, you know, definitely potential there.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of potential in that play out if those 2 Mindfreak players didn't go down, but nonetheless, second plant to defend will be the top floor in the meeting and console office. And to me, here's a question. Shade is back on the Capitao. Is he gonna go down first?
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. It happened a lot on Clubhouse. He died first 3 out of the 3 times he took it. Actually, I think it was 4 out of 4. But Magnet, almost quick to break that curse, as he's been taken really, really low. Lusty getting very aggressive on that front door, but not going to find anything and just going to back up the stairs. Mindfreak, of course, gathered all that info off that drone. That was a very, very beautifully paced drone.
Yeah. Now, Warden will be attempting to get some grenade kills from the admin windows to dish out some punishment onto Rizraz, who is very patiently sitting behind that mirror window, and I don't think he will allow anytime soon for the attackers to move in. Virtue will be picking up the first kill onto Kings, but Lusty will be downed already, but not out yet. There we go. There's the Ash kill onto Lusty, with Warden now also outing Virtue, the big player for Fnatic, making it a 3v4, but even with that man disadvantage, we did see before when during Clubhouse, if Fnatic have the crossfire set up quite well, they're pretty much unstoppable, and right now it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case, because right now Warden will be trying to contest with that, but I don't think we'll be finding the target just yet. Wings picks up a kill onto Magnet though, and at the wrong moment, Warden will be unscoping and losing his life to Rizraz. Now Crescent will be contesting with him. Rizraz will be going down, and now a 3v1 situation, a very hard one to pull off, as Aces will be rotating into the side. We'll be finding Shade at the very awkward moment. Now a 2v1 situation. Another flare.
Aces! You're a monster, man. You've only got 1 left here. He's going to turn around for the flashbang, but a full 55 seconds left. So there's plenty of time for both teams to play with.
Yeah, Ace is playing a very patient game, just waiting for the right moment, as the push from Crescent might come out very soon. And oh, the nice headshot will be finally shutting down Aces, as Mindfreak take the second round into their hands, evening the score out at a very close round, with them nearly losing that point as well.
Yep, and Aces, honestly, Aces had no business turning that from a 3v1 to a 1v1. But for some reason, Mindfreak, they didn't know where he was. One gets caught out on drone, the other one gets caught solo pushing. So that all leaves it up to Crescent, right? At that point, if you're Crescent, you've got to be pretty annoyed at your team for dying in 2 1v1s and forcing yourself into a third 1v1.
Yeah, that would definitely be a bit of an annoyance within the Mindfreak roster, but, I mean, still a good performance. They managed to clutch it out and get it back to a draw. Magnet swapping around between the two SAS operators, and so far not that many surprises really. Mindfreak still keeping all of their operators as it is, and yeah, overall a good turnout.
Virtue leading the kills for Fnatic again. Do you think this maybe might be another big hitter map point?
Yeah, could very much happen, but on the Mindfreak side we do have Wings, who has been contesting on that and getting also 3 kills, performing quite well on the Ashe pushes. Main question being for both of these players, can they continue performing, or is map 1 will be the kind of one moment flick?
5 seconds left.
Fnatic are going to attempt
Attackers
this
have recovered
top
their
floor
diffuser.
bomb site
Attackers'
again.
objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, it definitely nearly worked out for them quite well, fairly well, but at the end the Ashe and Thermite were the only ones that weren't well, that haven't been fully shut down. Present continuing to drawn up ahead. No congestion just yet on the admin as well, but Warden is already on the case with that cafeteria and break room window, in hopes of finding some closure, but not just yet. Now,
Fnatic doing a very similar setup here. If Mindfreak push in a similar way, Fnatic, they're going to know exactly how to deal with it though. Fnatic are a team that learn from their mistakes. So, or they could get aggressive and Lusty could get dropped straight away. You can see Shade being very, very cautious about a flank here.
yeah, he knows that that might happen anytime soon, and that Claymore might not be the good prevention for him as well. Whereas Wings is already making his way up the stairs, so he might have some element of surprise when while pushing that Jaeger, and I don't think Virtue is knowledgeable of that as well. Shade though picks up a nice kill onto Magnet as well. That is the, oh mama, that is the death of Warden that we just witnessed as Virtue completely murders him with that peek. And I just want to say that the main plant denial is down now for Fnatic. The smoke is gone.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, so they will lose that that impact, but so far Magnet died pretty quickly last round as well, as Rizraz is going to find the head of King. Shade's going to drop Virtue with a nice bullet to the temple, and we are now left in a 2v3. Mindfreak still with the man advantage, but Fnatic are in very, very strong positions to cover this off. They know they know where one of them is. They know Shade is out the window. Shade is of course very lit as well, so one bullet's going to down him.
Yeah,
as
right
he is
now,
only a 1 armor up.
right now the only saving grace right now for Mindfreak is that they are closing in fairly slowly onto the defenders, but can they do it quick enough? Because right now the Thermite is nowhere to be seen, and oh wait, no, pardon me. Thermite is on the Visa stairs, but I'm not too sure where Kings is, as the crossfire will need to happen very
Kings
soon.
has rotated back around. I think he's gone to the wrong spot though. I think Mindfreak need to pinch Crescent here. Sorry, not Crescent. Need to pinch Rizraz. There it is. Kings is going to find Rizraz. Ace takes out Crescent though.
15
And
seconds
Shade's
remaining.
been down, so this is another 1v1. And Kings has a slither of health. One bullet. Ace is trying to go for the ITA, but he takes out Shade, so Kings refrags him. He didn't need to kill Shade there. That was just greedy by Aces.
Gotta give the KD though. But nonetheless, a good performance overall. Unfortunate for Mindfreak, still a 1v1 that they did not want to happen. Nonetheless.
Yeah, so Mindfreak right there, right? What they should have done is when they realized it was a 2v3, they had the man advantage.
Yeah.
What you need to do in that point is separate the defenders. You need to ensure that wherever you are pushing, you have the man advantage. So they need to isolate and then crossfire and pinch one of the defenders, because the defenders are going to be split. They're not going to hold the same bomb site. They're going to be holding different bomb sites. So you need to work out where they are. You need to work out Alright, how are you going to pinch him?
Attackers
And you need to
locate
execute
and
it
defuse bomb.
quickly.
Yeah.
Mindfreak wasted a lot of time when they were just waiting for Kings to sort of rotate back around, and he was taking his sweet time doing it, but they got there eventually. They ended up getting that pinch on Rizraz, but in my opinion, it was a bit too late, and it was more luck, as it wasn't actually a pinch, it was a 1v1 gunfight that Rizraz lost.
Yeah.
So that could have easily have gone to Fnatic, and Aces should, like, the Aces should not have been able to make it a 1 versus 1 when it was actually a 3 versus 1 against him in his favor.
Yeah, and I feel that Rizraz should have just held one of those cheeky points from either the break room or from the admin and just waited for Kings' rotation, because otherwise, yeah, forcing himself in a very unfavorable 1v1 firefight against Kings was definitely not the best idea, but at the same time, maybe it felt a bit rushed as the pressure was on. Warden, come on,
Right, Warden.
you gotta nail those Kobe's. You can do it, man.
That's right. Look, everyone's done it, alright? Everyone's done it. Some more than others. Alright. But, you know,
we've all been there.
getting flashbacks, actually, Warden was the one who naded a camera on this map.
Yes, yes, that also happened as well.
Yes, that was Warden. But, no, so, yeah, I think Mindfreak, very, very strong position. I'm actually surprised that Fnatic...
Oh, there it is. There it is, the Jaeger.
That's a nice nade kill.
The
And that's the
Jaeger,
fragger of Virtue.
yeah, and so the Jaeger that usually doesn't worry about the grenades will unfortunately be catching one. And that will be the reign of the big fragger, the newest fragger of Fnatic will be shut down. Warden picking up another kill onto Lusty. Feels that Fnatic are definitely a bit lost on how to approach this, because so far the pushes that Fnatic have been executing were very much one-sided, and we're not showing any promise whatsoever, but so far it feels that maybe Fnatic are just getting overly cheeky and too cocky about how they defend it.
Yeah, well, it seems like their admin side is what's failing them, right? So the push in from Mindfreak, they're not denying the beachhead. They're not fighting into the beachhead, and when they are, they're losing it. So something needs to change along that east side for Fnatic if they're going to continue trying to hold this top floor. At this point, though, I think they need to admit that Mindfreak have the better strategy, and they need to drop away to another bomb site at this point. They've got the whole map to deal with it, so they just need to drop back away, go to another bomb site.
Yeah. But with that in mind, though, we'll be seeing a potential soon push as another, yet again, 4v3 now this time. And Rizraz will be going in for the peak, does get the head onto Warden, will be able to get into a firefight with Wings as well. Will be going in for another one, does take out Crescent as well. 1v3 situation as Rizraz is down, so technically 1v2. All up to Kings to play it out. So, and only 20 seconds left. He needs to get the kills going very soon as the diffuser is down there as well. Can he find the mirror? He does really spot it out, but time is running very low, and
10 seconds remaining.
there's really not a lot to be done by the Thatcher of Mindfreak.
Round's over.
The round is essentially over. 1 second down.
Mine ended the round. So,
Yeah.
just as we were saying, that Mindfreak were executing their strats much more, in a much more superior way. They're doing a much better job at pushing that bomb site. Rizraz goes and gets himself a 3k.
Yeah.
And puts Fnatic all in the driver's seat.
Yeah, so as soon as that happens, that's essentially GG. Well played. And this time, though, Rizraz swapping over to Mute, and Magnet bringing out Capcan. So we did see Magnet before playing on Capcan, and that was a fairly successful turnout for him. Whereas I think Rizraz might actually be playing... Never mind, no, that would be Aces swapping over to Smoke. So no Maestro this time for Rizraz. And no Bandit as well for Fnatic. So no Bandit tricking for the breaches, whereas Mindfreak is bringing only one hard breacher.
Yeah, so their goal is not necessarily to deny the entry or to deny the breach of the wall. Their job is to deny the entry to the wall. So they're going to try and... so they're going to let them open it up, essentially. One EMP and a thermite charge, and that wall is open. After that, their job is to simply just keep them outside.
Yeah, as long as they manage to keep them outside and keep wasting the time, that's where you put Mindfreak at a disadvantage and essentially forcing them to be a bit more reckless on the
5
push.
seconds to insertion.
Which,
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's very, very difficult to deny a breach on that garage.
Objective is to defuse
So
the bomb.
it's a very viable strategy to just say, well, they're more than likely gonna get it open anyway, especially caliber of this team. Let's just let them get them open and let's play to a different strength.
yeah. Give them a slight slither of hope and then just absolutely crush it. Maybe that is the main key point for Fnatic on this playout with Mindfreak, because so far they've been baiting them in a little bit and then just completely wiping them off the face of Earth. Like we did see with Tellers and Archives, they've played it out. They allowed them to go for the plant and then swiftly retaken it once the clock started ticking down.
Yeah, they certainly did. So Mindfreak in, I believe, full control of the map right now, as I believe the whole of the Fnatic squad is in the basement.
Yeah, full control of ground floor and top floor, but Magnet is really in full control, as I just noticed. Yeah, 2 players upstairs. Yeah, no control at all of the top floor.
Another one's actually come up into Visa. Shade might be aware of it. Lusty's find Kings. Virtue, he's currently sitting in the tellers. That's going to be a downed and dead Shade. There is a second player there currently. Virtue, he's getting naded. He gets out alive. If that was a cooked nade, that was a dead Virtue.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't cooked at all, and Virtue managed to get it alive. Crescent, though, is going to find Rizraz, and that puts the man advantage still with Fnatic.
The issue right now that I'm seeing is that two Mindfreak players are split very far apart from each other, as Warden just now realizes that. But if Crescent right now would have died, that is, well, there's Warden goes. And right now, all up to Crescent in a 1v4, this is going to be a massive feature for him to pull off if he manages to clutch this up, because right now, he's in the least favorable position. Nobody to cover him, nobody to have a crossfire with him, and yeah, he's just getting sandwiched. Magnet will be getting the final laugh with his with the Spetsnaz SMG, and yeah, right now this is not the way how Mindfreak would have wanted it to work out, and now Fnatic are in the lead, and the last round of the first half, where Fnatic might actually grab another lead, a 2-point lead over Mindfreak, which is going to be a even bigger challenge for Mindfreak to climb out of.
Yeah, at this point, Fnatic is looking very, very strong after they lost that, after they managed to successfully take that top defense. But that round was not very good for Mindfreak. They kept getting caught out in 1v1s, and even when they had the NAN advantage, they were still losing players and not getting refrags. So it was a little bit. Fnatic really outplayed them, and Fnatic really showed the skill gap between them just there.
Yeah. But that said, we back.
The
No,
split?
not really.
Yep.
Yeah, is it a split? Yeah, it
Yep.
is. Yeah, we're back onto the Archives and Killers. But this time, Fnatic are setting up a bit of a more of a hold from above once again, and way less more, I believe, reinforcements at the actual
Attackers
site,
have located a bomb.
which
10
tells
seconds to
us
go.
that they're just gonna try to approach it the very same way like they hold
5
the
seconds to
console office
insertion.
and meeting, at least in a similar manner.
Yeah, well,
Attackers have
last time,
recovered their diffuser.
Mindfreak took
Attackers'
their hold
objective
by
is to
taking
defuse the
control
bomb.
of that admin section and taking control of the Visa office downstairs. So that was how they managed to push their way in. They didn't worry about the rest of the map, and then they just planted the bomb and backed out a little bit. So trying to deny the admin office at the top is, I think, the right call for Fnatic here, and I think it's a beautiful strategical adaptation.
Definitely. But the main question right now will be, can Mindfreak read into that, as Fnatic did go for several adjustments on that. I believe one of the Fnatic players is still going for a couple of settings. Virtue tagged up already, just a slight tidbit. And another Ash Charge will be coming in to breach into the break room. And I'm liking this. I'm liking how Mindfreak are currently setting this up. They might be going for a two-front push. Shade already gets the kill onto Magnet. Again, the plant denial is Gonski's in the face of a smoke, but there's still a Pulse that could be playing from below. And what a King as well. Nearly gets the kill as well, but I do believe that there's a reinforced wall in the way. Gordon though picks up a kill for last year. Now a 3v5 halfway through the round.
Yeah, very, very good round so far by Mindfreak. They're finding their picks, but that being said, they did this in the first round too, and Fnatic still came up big.
Yeah.
So just a strong performance so far halfway through the round. Now they're going to start taking control of that first floor, as they have control of the top floor entirely, and then they're going to push on to the teller's office for the plant.
This definitely will be the ideal, since the actual teller's office in the question is definitely very much open, but Rizraz from below might might be a big thorn in the backside. Virtue is already rotating back to the hallway, where he could catch a couple of the attackers off guard. Does the cutoff of the rotation. The C4 might be coming out as well. Crescent be tagged out by his teammates. Grenade as well, and Rizraz might be finding something. Crescent is still alive, but the pre-fires will be coming out from Pulse. Will be shutting down Crescent and preventing the plant. Virtue gets the kill onto Shade. Now a 3v3 situation, and 30 seconds still left on the ground. What is happening? How was that allowed? Virtue and Rizraz once again getting the kills for themselves, and now all up to Kings. This completely turned 180 degrees around. In a matter of just several seconds, and just like that, Kings has literally no hold at all on this side, and will need to go for the plant very soon. But Aces with a mirror will be all ready to go, and first half is going in favor of Fnatic now.
Yeah, a 4-2 half for Fnatic. They're going to be very, very happy with that. Fnatic's late flank there really won it for them. It pulled it off. They managed to find multiple kills with it. Fnatic did phenomenally in that round, and Mindfreak, that was theirs to lose. Like,
yeah,
they were in full control there, and they didn't cover off their flanks, they didn't cover off their sides, and they just got picked apart by the Fnatic squad. I think Fnatic are more deadly as a 3-man squad than they are as a 5-man squad. Right, like, next time they go to an international LAN, they should just absolutely
just pick up 2 randoms from the auditory, and then have the three of their core and just smash it all out.
Yeah, just play as a 3-man core. They don't even need to field the other 2 players. It'll be right.
Yeah.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
But nonetheless, second half starting off with Mindfreak now going on defense. So far it looks like they're fairly simple setup, very standard. A reinforcement on the left side of that wall in the console office, which could mean that they might keep it soft to have some peeking potential from the exit stairs.
Yeah, so that reinforcement on those stairs says to me that they're going to try and attempt to hold this the admin office a little bit more successfully.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse
But
it.
Mindfreak, we'll have to see whether or not they can have as dominant a performance as what Fnatic had. But I think Mindfreak needed to win their defensive rounds. I think their attacking rounds
Drone activated.
for Fnatic are going to be too strong. So I think Mindfreak needed to capitalize on some of those attacking rounds.
Yeah, they certainly do need to capitalize on the mistakes of Fnatic, get themselves going. But because right now Fnatic definitely not on the brightest spot with their offense. Like we saw on Clubhouse, they were a bit sloppy on the pushes, with Mindfreak still having some aces behind in their up in their sleeve. And Kings will be the first person to be contesting actually against Kings, which could work out pretty well. Another Jaeger device will be bringing up the grenades, which I don't think Fnatic were knowledgeable of.
Yeah, so it's a very strong angle for Kings. He's only got a pixel peak to work with. Oh, Shade with the double C4 kills. Going to drop 2 of the Fnatic players from below. I think that was from below anyway.
No, that was from the site. That was from the meeting room, and Shade picks up another kill onto Magnet as well. The Fnatic push is slowly falling apart as
the ace here.
yeah, could be going an ace if none of the Fnatic players will be picking up any kills. The logic bomb will be dropping down, revealing some of the positioning of the defenders, but not really as much info as you would love to know as a Fnatic player. But Rizraz will need to just calm down and wait up his teammate to either rendezvous with him and pick up the diffuser, or just go for a completely opposite push.
Yeah, so they could, you know, all Mindfreak really need to do here is just sit tight, right? Like, they don't need to get aggressive. They don't need to get antsy. They just need to sit tight and let the two-man Fnatic squad come to them. Shade's going to find Rizraz with a nice shotgun shot to the face.
Great. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back up and running with the game. 3-5 is the score between Fnatic and Mindfreak in favor of Fnatic, and we are currently seeing a play out on the garage from Mindfreak.
Yeah, very, very interesting go. We did, of course, miss how the last 2 rounds went, so we're not sure how they went, but we know that it went to 1 apiece. But still, Mindfreak in a little bit of a difficult situation as they are slowly being strangled by Fnatic. And Fnatic obviously very, very happy. With a minute left in the round, Fnatic are going to try and extend this timer, run this timer down for as long as they possibly can. And you're seeing Fnatic here holding some very tight vertical angles.
Yes, they are, and the Wings will be getting the first kill on Zelasti, which is going to be a very substantial one, outing Jaeger from this current round, as well. Virtue will be going, will be injured, but will be fairly quickly picked up by Magnet. But still, nonetheless, that is injured down off the board. Whereas a whole Mindfreak never. Wow. Didn't. I was just about to say the rest of Mindfreak roster didn't take. Well, took minimal damage, but the C4 from below will be shutting down Magnet as well with an excellently performed flick by Crescent. So now a 3v5 could definitely work out in favor of FNC, but just as I say it, Wings will be going down to the hands of Virtue, who has been showing some great promise. 15 seconds left to go, and Fnatic needs to have some very explosive action on the ASAP. Kings will be dying, wow, to a pre-fire from Aces, but Aces will be taking out Virtue as well. The plant will be going down. 3v1 situation, once again putting Aces into a very uncomfortable position as he will be going down to the hands of Crescent. Warden at the last moment does go. It dies to a Claymore in a very...
I feel sorry for the guy, like, he's just gonna run around, run straight. You know, there's nothing like padding the enemy team's KD.
Yeah.
But, no. Fnatic's biggest problem was definitely them running on a clock, right? They were so... They are so unaware of the clock, it seems, in these rounds, that they're just slowly pushing it back and back and back until eventually they run out of time, right? And they're forced into suboptimal positions. Fnatic is still slipping back into this issue that the recurring issue they have against the clock. It's like it's the 6th man for the other player.
Yeah. Looking at that as well. Initially, Lusty bringing in a Jackal, but deciding to swap out to a Thatcher, having a bit more of a safe option for the breaching. But interestingly enough, Fnatic will be bringing a Thermite. Makes a fair chunk of sense just to be able to remotely open up the hole into the meeting room, which would be quite beneficial for them. Whereas on the Mindfreak side, not really that much of a change so far. They have a fairly stable roster of operators, which they are quite comfortable with, and so far we just saw them perform pretty well.
Well, at the end of the day, all the operators here are exceptionally versatile as well for the Mindfreak lineup, so they can absolutely play anywhere, any position, and do a multiple amount of things as well. They can chop and change things as they need to based on Fnatic's pushes. So I think that it's a very versatile, all-rounded team comp here by the Fnatic lineup.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Fnatic will be making their way once again. This time it's Aces. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that was Aces that missed the.
Nah,
the
that was
throw.
Rizraz.
Okay. Yeah, Rizraz now on the Fnatic side misses the throw of the drone. Yeah, pulls a warden, but it's all good. Happens to the best of us. Magnet, meanwhile, will be.
To everyone. Like you just laugh at it because it happens to everyone, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Magnet actually nearly went for the push into the bathroom, but just going to open up a window to have some extra attention drawn for Mindfreak. And Admin is fully taking without any contesting of that. Mindfreak could be potentially just luring Fnatic in. But now the main question for Fnatic, can they keep holding their angles? Because I do believe I just heard a wild magnet trying to rappel down to the ground floor.
Look, wild magnets are the worst. I much prefer the tame ones. When you find a magnet in the wild, it's going to be a bad time. But
yeah,
Fnatic here, they're attempting to try and push out Shade. Flashbangs are going in. They're going to find nothing. The pings come out. Magnet is rappelling on that balcony. Puts a couple of shots down, but he's only hitting the bomb on the marker. So Shade is sitting in a strong position right now, and all he has to do is just sit tight. Virtue's going to nade him, though, as those ADSs are wasted around him. And that's a good pickup. They've got that smoke out. Sorry, they got the mute out of the way. So that's one shotgun gone down. And that leaves us in a 4 versus 5.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kings will be holding a very long angle as well, assisting, I believe... now, Shade is gone, as I was just about to say. But yeah, still will be able to hold a very viable angle, which I don't think Fnatic players will be expecting. Whereas so far, FNC are pulling a very one-sided push, in my opinion. Like, they could have applied some pressure on the exit stairs and have them pressuring from both sides, but instead, it's a bit of a lost one. Like, yes, there are, here we go, some of the smoke grenades, but Kings manages to pick up a kill onto Aces. Lustian picks up a double kill onto Wings and Crescent instead, and a 2v4 just like that. This is definitely not the case that Mindfreak won, and there's the kill, yeah, onto Warden. So now all up to Kings. Once again, the maestro of Mindfreak does need to settle some score very quickly, but he's... Yeah.
Why does it always seem like the same players end up in those 1vx situations? But Magnet there, he comes up huge, a massive round for him. And Fnatic are going to slaughter Mindfreak on that top defense.
Yeah. Mindfreak, though, will need to get back on the struggle, as Fnatic already taking the match point round, and will be just 1 round away from taking the 3 points. And the Mindfreak will need to start pushing for another 2 rounds to get themselves at least 1 point. And this is definitely a much less preferable case for Mindfreak players at this very moment.
Blitz being 6 picked off.
I mean, that's expectable.
I think we all saw that coming.
Yeah. Lusty is not one of those players
on
that...
this map.
It's not even that. It's Lusty that hasn't played that much Blitz at all. So him picking Blitz was probably the most odd and the most obvious bait possible for that.
That being said, you don't hide a Thatcher, right? Like that's just 6 picking for the sake of using the 6 pick, right? Like
could be that, yeah.
That's not. I mean, if anything, you hide the Capitao on this lineup, but like. Because, you know, there's not really a point in hiding an Ashe, because if you hide an Ashe, I mean, what are you going to switch it out with, Zofia? Like,
5 seconds left before
like I don't know, Sledge, you don't exactly hide Sledge, he doesn't bring anything game-changing. So I think that's just 6 pick for the sake of using 6 pick.
Point. Unless Magnet will be once again trying to go for potential solo peak, maybe. or just setting up a couple of run-out traps.
That is the Claymore that Magnet died. Ah, sorry, that Warden died too.
Yeah, that's the that infamous Claymore. the Claymore strikes back. Kings try to contest.
Return of the Warden.
Return of the Warden.
So as Fnatic are going to set up their push, we're going to have to see where they're going to come from. It looks like it's going to be. Looks like it's probably going to be an East push again, as they are already in the admin office.
Yeah. Once again, I'm a bit confused why is Mindfreak completely letting Fnatic take the full control of admin, because it's can be used as a fantastic foothold to keep holding and delaying the time if you even have just one player, because that would force Fnatic to go for usage of utility 1 and 2 usage of their manpower, while you have the rest of the squad just rotating around and attempting to help that one person holding the admin, because so far Fnatic has been going for one-dimensional pushes. So whenever you see heat coming from Fnatic, just go there and you'll find the rest of the squad.
Yeah, but I mean, the other option is you've put what 4 potential entry points down to 2. So if they have control of east side, there's only 2 ways they can come through there. So it becomes plus what, a third from the balcony. So you can absolutely, it becomes easier to choke Fnatic, right? It becomes easier to set up those crossfires. But Shade is slowly being pushed in from this downstairs section. That's Rizraz getting aggressive. He finds the kill. There was the second player down there, but the refrag does not come out. Those Mindfreak refrags are going to have to wait for now. Magnet finds Kings as well, and that puts it in a 5v3 as this Mindfreak lineup is slowly getting dismantled.
How are those 2 kills allowed? Because King's dying to that point, like, it's obvious that the window is already open. The call-out has been done. How does one miss this? Like on Shade, yes, he was just being actively drawn and he decided to take the firefight. But this one on Kings was a bit of a... I don't know, man. Like, not pro league level. Like, that is...
Kings did not need to push what he pushed.
Yes.
Right? Like, he got aggressive for really no reason. He paid for his life. Warden's come around on a flank, though, finds one, loses the gunfight to Rizraz, though, as Rizraz is actually drop shot him. Present takes out Lusty, but the plant has gone down. Wings has been downed as well. He should be able to get picked up here, as Crescent is on a slither of health, and this is going to be a 2v3 retake. They don't have the time to reset Crescent, and so, with just a breath away from death, they're going to push their way in. Magnet is in a power position right now, and he's got someone else with him. I can't quite see who that is. It is going to be Aces, so Rizraz is the wild card on this hold. And then he's going to find one, that's Crescent. That could have been shots anywhere, and that's only going to leave it in Wings' problem. He's going to run out. Aces on the flank is going to take him out, and that is a 2-map win over to Fnatic.
Yeah, and a very confident performance at the end from Fnatic, as they managed to take both of those maps at the end fairly swiftly. And unfortunately for Mindfreak, they will be gaining no points whatsoever, putting them to 2 losses so far for this season.
Rizraz with 13 kills. He did really well.
Yeah.
Shay got himself to double digits too. So great performance from both of them.
Overall, a good performance. I'd even say, all things considered, even though that Mindfreak got 2-0'd in this matchup, I do have to say that it was still a formidable performance from Mindfreak. They versed the big giants in the face of Fnatic, and still managed to show some good prowess, some good playouts. Just they didn't have enough either endgame dependency or some of the mistakes that they've made were a bit